Hello YouTube, Totalhenry here, and welcome back to another episode of what I'm reading and watching. This is the weekly show where I talk about the manga and anime that I've read over the past week. In the description below, you will find a list of what I'm going to be talking about this week, as well as when in the video I'm going to be talking about them. So starting off, like usual, is Toriko, chapter 329. I thought this was a very good and interesting chapter, and I loved seeing the new city and all the crazy cooking devices. And I'm really impressed with the mangaka's imagination, because some of the things in Toriko just in general and in the city are just so imaginative, so creative, that I find it really cool, really funny, really appealing, really weird, scary, everything. I know a lot of the ingredients now are being submitted to him by people all over the world, but specifically things in this chapter, it's still his imagination, and I find that really, really cool. Next series is Bleach, chapter 632. Um, this was a good chapter. I still want action, and Bleach has not had action in a long time. But the flashback is getting interesting, so I am enjoying that. I am a little bit intrigued to see where this is going. I am still wishing for action, but at least Bleach is keeping me interested. But I'm still frustrated that one, Bleach hasn't ended yet, and two, there is no action. So, oh well. Next up is One Piece, chapter 791. This was a great chapter. It's finally done. The arc, the Del Rosa arc, is done. Luffy, Doflamingo, their battle has come to an end. And it's just a very heartfelt chapter. Lots of crying, lots of tears. Basically, the whole chapter is people crying. And now, it's nice that the arc is done, but it just left me wanting to know what's next. Where are the other crew members? I think Sanji, Name, and Chopper are gone, so what are they up to? How long before the crew joins up with them? Are there going to be any new crew members? Because there are some interesting characters in this arc that I wouldn't mind seeing on the crew. Um, I get the feeling that I think the samurai guys might be the only crew members. And then it's always a sigh of relief, at least for me, when an arc in One Piece is done, because they're so long, they're so intense, you get so invested in it that when it's done, you just sort of like lean back and you take a deep breath. And now the next few chapters are probably going to be pretty laid back, pretty easy. Even if they immediately start with like an arc, even if they immediately go back to the rest of the crew, like Sanjin, Chopper, and Name, and they're in trouble, I don't think it's going to be as intense as the final few battles with Doflamingo. So I'm looking forward to starting a new arc soon, but also a little bit of downtime, because I think that's important every once in a while. Speaking of downtime in series, Nisekoi, chapter 176. This is a good chapter, and I still get the feeling that Nisekoi is starting to wrap up. Everybody's feelings are entering the spotlight more, and it just feels like they're focused on it much more than they were a few months ago. And I just think that means that now Shikomi's starting to wrap up the series and just trying to figure out, okay, who is Raku going to like choose? That's sort of the big question. And the end of this chapter was interesting, and it just, the only thing that made me wonder is I didn't care about the implications of Raku. I just want to know if we're going to get another male character, because right now there's only really two, Raku and Shu is obviously the better one. I mean, there are all the Raku and Chitoge, all their sort of not really family members, but like the Beehive and the other gang, all those people, but they don't really count as characters. I don't even know if they have names. There's Claude, but he's like disappeared. So I would like to see another male character. I think that could be kind of funny. Um, I do want to see more Shu. That always makes Nisekoi better. But I think right now, if Nisekoi were to just end and Raku pick a girl, I don't even care which girl, it would just probably be the best Nisekoi chapter like ever. Next series is Shokugeki no Soma, chapter 124. I really am enjoying Shokugeki no Soma. This is such a great series. The chapters leading up to the festival, which starts next week, were so well done, and they just got you so hyped up for this festival, just wondering what Soma's going to do. It was revealed in this chapter what he's going to make, what his dish is called. I don't even remember it. I didn't really remember it while I was reading it. It's some sort of Thai food. Looks almost like a dumpling, but whatever. I also found it funny too that Soma did not know that his school had like a national anthem or a school wide song, and I don't know. It just seems something that he would do. Not know that his school has like an alma mater, a anthem or something. So I don't know why that was put in the chapter. It seemed kind of weird and pointless, but I thought it was funny that Soma didn't know nor really care about it. The next series is My Hero Academia, chapter 48. This was a great chapter, and it reminded me a little bit of Naruto, just with like the main character was doing like secret training, just in the way Naruto did when he was trying to master the Rasengan. And I also love it when manga series, when comics in general, or just any media, when they show the character doing training instead of doing time skips like the way One Piece did. I would rather see all the 2 years of training that Luffy did than have a time skip, unless you're going to extensively go back and show what happened, which One Piece has not done yet, and I really wish Oda would do. And there's been an occasional flashback here or there. But I love series like I Shield 21 that showed the entire death march throughout America, because I like seeing the characters train, suffer, and grow stronger. But that's just me. Um, and this new student teacher relationship with the main character and All Might's previous teacher is really interesting. And this has been, I think, the last manga that I've read with since Naruto and Jiraiya that's had like a real student teacher relationship. I can't think of another one. Um, and that Hero Academy has just been really good lately, and I'm enjoying it a lot. Next up is Haikyuu, chapter 163, and this was an incredible chapter. I can't stress enough just how awesome Haikyuu has been. There was a really awesome color page spread showing, comparing two different characters, how one is sort of a king. He's like the king, the beast. They're depicting them with all these like really cool animals like the eagle and just like really majestic animals. And then the other guy was sitting on top of a trash can with a crow. So it's like a king against trash. And it was a really interesting color page, really interesting way to compare these two characters. The chapter was great. The ending was incredible. This is what I love about haiku and sports manga in general. They just get you so excited, and it just makes you feel good. You don't have to think a lot. You just watch them play, and you root for them, and you cheer for them. And there's no real sides on who to pick. You root for the team. You root for the characters, and it just haiku just makes you feel good, especially this chapter. And I love the last page of the chapter, the last double page spread. No words, just victory pose. They didn't win the game, but just read it. Haiku, an amazing chapter this week. Next up is Black Clover, chapter 19. I was expecting a little bit more out of this chapter, to be honest. From the last panel of last week's chapter, I thought it was going to be more about Asta and his sword and some weird mystical power it had. Maybe give him some magic power, but nope. Nothing really happened in this chapter. He did have some nice action scenes, but there were a number of flashbacks that there was one flashback that bugged me between Noelle and the other girl from the Golden Dawn team. I don't think their flashback was interesting nor was needed. They basically said all that, and I I like the flashback with the villain because I like seeing more of his backstory, and I guess next chapter is when Asta will kick his butt because the last part of the chapter was sort of mid swing, mid sword attack. So next week will be probably a much better chapter. Moving on to Naruto, the Seventh Hokage, and the Scarlet Spring, chapter 700 plus 9. I love this chapter. This chapter was incredible, awesome fight scene, and then the last double page spread was just incredible. It rivaled the one from Haikyuu, and Sardia. She is such an awesome character. I'm loving her. I'm loving her character development. She is really really cool in this chapter. Really really strong, and I was also wondering if the reveal about her mom and who it is, it doesn't seem right. There's got to be more to it. Whether that's not her mom and somehow the machine was wrong, or whether there's like a reason why Sakura's not her mom, and just I don't know. There's got to be more to it than that. I'm waiting for Sasuke and Sakura to talk more about that. But overall, I'm really liking Naruto Part 3, Naruto Gaigen, I think it's called. Now, next up, I have some American comic books I want to talk about. I bought these on a spur of the moment thing. I don't usually read a lot of American comic books, and these that I bought were in the middle of the new run. I believe, yeah, these are all 4 DC comic books. They're all in the middle of New 52, and in some cases, I've not read any of these, but just an impulse buy. And so, starting off, we have Action Comics Bizarro New 52 number 40. And I think read maybe the early Action comic book stuff. I'm not a huge Superman fan, but I don't know. I saw this. There were a bunch of DC comics, and where I was, and I don't know. I just tried to buy it. Kind of an interesting story. I don't particularly like the art in this issue. I don't know why. But overall, it's kind of entertaining to see this bizarro world and Superman trying to figure out how to deal with the weird Justice League. I love Aquaman there. Flash is on the ground over here. I don't know, a lot of funny details and just the way they talk, where if he says friend, that means enemy and stuff like that. And Doomsday actually makes things really, really cute. So, like, Doomsday turns everything into stuff that's really, really cute in this bizarro world. But I don't know, overall, like, this wasn't one of the more exciting issues. The other issue I got was New 52 Flash number 40. These are all issue 40. The art in this issue is really, really good. I've read a lot of, probably the first, like, 8 or 9 issues of The Flash, and I do like the Flash New 52 a lot. I think the art is good in this issue. I didn't really understand a lot because it was issue 40 and I've not read since issue 8. But, you know, I don't know, just sort of made me want to read comic books again. Especially the New 52 Flash. I think it's a very entertaining story. I wish they had some of the old artists back. I wish they had Francis Manipal, and there's this other guy. I wish he was back on the issue. I don't know, some just cool images. There are 2 Flashes here, and somehow they were separate. I don't really understand, because again, I've only read up to issue 8, but overall, nice to have some more American comic books. Then I picked up Wonder Woman number 40. This, I've never read a Wonder Woman comic before, and I just sort of just grabbed this, and I like this one a little bit more. Just, I don't know, it's just sort of a very interesting thing to learn about the Amazons, you know, some war with her sister, and I don't know, I enjoyed it a lot. And then they're sort of talking with Superman, talking out of problems. I feel like right here Superman is saying, you know, you could help me with this bus here, because she's just sort of like, they flew to help the kids in the bus that was hanging over the river, and then Wonder Woman just kind of like stands there and just talks about her problems. I don't know, a lot of things going on here with Batman and Wonder Woman and all the other characters in Wonder Woman, and it really does make me want to read some New 52 Wonder Woman, because it's a character that I've never seen a lot of. I've never This is like the only issue I've ever read, but overall, based on one issue, I am really intrigued, and I do want to check out more Wonder Woman comics. Then last comic book issue was Batman Detective Comics number 40. The two artists up here used to do Flash New 52, Mana Pool, and I don't even want to pronounce this other name. Um, and these guys are some of my favorite artists out there. I love their art style, especially Manipool art style with his like, it's there's not a lot of lines. It's sort of very, I want to say watercolor. It's very sort of brush heavy and faded. There's just not these hard lines, and I think it's a really appealing art style to look at. And that's one of the reasons why I loved the Flash New 52 for so long, just because of the great art. And Batman New 52 is a New 52 that I am reading. I have the first three trades, so that's probably about 20 issues. Um, but this stuff here was still very new to me. It was the end of a storyline, so sadly, I know what happens in it. But other than that, it was really, really good. And you know a series is good when you can hop on the last issue, hop into issue 40, and still be excited about it. So overall, I'm going to keep reading the American comics. I just bought a whole bunch of manga. I was going to buy American comics, but they're so much more expensive than manga that it just, I don't know, didn't seem worth it to me. But I would eventually like to buy more comic books. And I think that is going to be the end of another episode of what I'm reading and watching. Continue watching my videos. We've just started the Johto Pokemon, and I am very excited to draw these new Pokemon. And just keep watching my videos. Thank you.